All right, the X Factor has now reached the knockout stage. The bad news is I now have to watch it Saturday and Sunday night. The good news is at least there is some real talent coming through because they've weeded out some of the worst. But interestingly, they haven't weeded out all the worst, because in the final 62 that I was looking at on Sunday night, there was certainly a high percentage were just goddamn awful. What the X Factor is now proving, of course, is, as if we didn't know, is it's a television show. And its purpose is to create television. So what it does is to use, and this is where television is so wrong, it uses people cruelly, plays with their emotions. So many of the people who came to those auditions, would be wrong of me, but watching sometimes, it came to mind, well, they've already lost. They're not going to make it anywhere else. And this is almost just a final shot. And the number of times that people said, this is my final shot, I found very sad. And I found some of the people very sad because their talent was awful. I also find the judging to be fake, a lot of it. I mean, for Kelly to be saying, oh, I want this person to sing at my wedding. And then at another point, Kelly is there clutching her heart as she is moved to extremes by the voice of the angel on the stage. Increasingly, the only smidgen of honesty, integrity and common sense comes from Gary. And I absolutely adore watching this guy on television because I think he is real. He's the only real person on the panel. Well, who were they? Well, they divided it up, of course, as you probably know if you watch the X Factor. They go off now and they're going to be mentored in people's homes, judges' homes, that is. But they've got to be in the top 31 out of 62 or thereabouts. I think what a lot of these kids, and most of them are kids, what they're forgetting is that this is a song contest. They're trying to find a singer. They're not trying to find a dancer. They're not trying to find somebody who dresses outrageously. They're not trying to find somebody who is doing something just to impress. They're actually trying to find somebody with a voice. By and large, the people who got through, I was really pleased about. There was Jade, for instance, a woman, gorgeous, magnificent voice. Craig, young fella, super. Strangely enough, Louis thinks Janice, 16 years of age, he thinks she's the one to beat. His words, not mine. And I don't agree. I don't think she's that good, but they're better than I am, no more than I do, and they think she's absolutely stupid about her. I think she's not that good. On the other hand, there were the predictable ones got through. There's this loony Chinese woman, who, to all intents and purposes, does a striptease act on the stage. I think she's got an average voice, really. So naturally, they're going to keep her in. And particularly when she chases Gary halfway around a Wembley arena like some demented fullback chasing a wing, then, you say, oh, she's going to get through. And then there was Terry Winstanley. And somehow, I said, this could be faked, but it wasn't. But I knew he was going to get through because he broke down in the song, couldn't remember the words, and he got stage fright, and he actually had to walk off. And backstage you hear him saying, well, that's it then, I'm finished, I'm done. You knew they were going to let him through, because again, that was television. And then the other thing they do, which is fake, a couple of weeks ago, they dumped a group, and then they said to one person, look, you come back, and we treat you as an individual. Totally forgetting the damage done to friendships, families, all that sort of stuff. They did it again. I couldn't believe it. They dumped two groups, and then they picked two from each group to make an entirely new group who'd never sung before, who'd never been seen anywhere before, and they put them through. The sheer unfairness of that kind of second chance, I just think is wrong. However, there were parts of it which were legit. There was a guy called David Wilder. The audience hated him. And they hated him because he forgot he was there to sing. He started to talk too much and do too much, and they hated him. Ultimately, to be successful, and this is what these young people have to understand, the audience has to like you. And so many of them forgot that. And there was a woman, Kitty, that's her name. She gave up paying her rent. She didn't pay her rent. She bought a striptease costume. I mean, it really was like Britney Spears or one of these women. It left nothing to the imagination. It cost her £2,000. And then, in mid-song, she pushes a switch and it lights up like a neon sign outside a nightclub. Extraordinary. She had eyelashes that extended about 6 inches beyond her eyes. Purple they were. I'm colourblind, but I think they were purple. But she had a smashing voice. You know, if I met Kitty tonight and I'd say, Kitty, don't mind the extremes. You've got a great voice. And finally, I think they're picking the wrong songs. So many of them, I think, are picking songs that are not suited to their personality or their voice even. And I mean, Craig has got such a gorgeous voice. I'm sure there are better songs to sing. What I was also disappointed about are the only songs written today, written in the last 24 months. Imagine the great music of Gershwin, even Paul McCartney. Why don't we hear that stuff for voice, instead of which it's a whole pile of screaming and roaring and shouting? But is it compulsive? You bet your butt it's compulsive. I'll be tuning in again next week for the X Factor. You can get the blog here on the website, and of course you can always listen to the radio programme if it takes your fancy between 4:30 and 7 here on News Talk, The Right Hook with George Hook.